Well, yeah, there is an advantage for students when they have exams. You don't have homework normally, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is an advantage because then supposedly or apparently you have more time to do other stuff. Oh, yes, Vicky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I prefer in comparison with the rest of the weeks.
How I'm curious to ask you, Mickey, how do you combine work with school? It does not interfere at all, does it?
Work, do you mean?
The business?
Okay. Well, sometimes yes, it's a little bit complicated because uh, I'm not completely focused on one thing or in the other. So I try to have a balance, and step by step, I've been learning about it. Now I try to uh, divide my day with activities. For example, I know that at 4 or at 4:30 I have my English class, so I give completely attention to that. And then, for example, today I need to deliver some packages, so I try to have a balance, and then I do my homework and study a little bit for my for the exam of tomorrow.
Right. You then need to be very, very organized, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you say you are very organized, let me show you the first slide. Do you take after your dad, you take after your mom, or you take after both, probably, right?
Oh, uh, okay. To take after is like something that we have in common, or something that
Yes,
we.
exactly that, exactly that. So you say, I am very organized, I take after my mom. Or I am very organized, I take after my dad. Or I am very organized,
Mm,
I take after both my parents.
I take after my dad in this case.
Really? Really? Okay, okay, very good. Let me say
Yeah.
hello to Mitch.
Yes,
Mitch,
sure.
good afternoon. How are you today?
Good afternoon, teacher. Very good, thank you.
You cut your hair?
Oh, yes.
Nice, 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 nice. Mickey did also like a couple of weeks ago, Mickey, or 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Mm, I think that almost 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. Very good, guys. You are in fashion, right? You like to be in fashion, Mitch and
Yeah.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm.
We were saying that taking after someone is to be similar to a person in some characteristics, normally positive. For example, uh, I am very, I would say, well, I would say that I'm very ambitious, and in that sense, I take after my mother. And occasionally, I also, um, how can I say this? Yeah, I'm ambitious. I'm very optimistic. In that sense, I take after my mother. So when you say I take after, normally refers to not a physical trait, but a personality trait, right? So let's see if we can read the definition, please. And let's see in which positive senses you take after your dad or you take after your mom. Let me show you here, please. Can you read this, Mitch? Please, I take after.
Yes. To take after, to be similar to an elder member of the same family, usually in character rather than in appearance.
Okay. Well, so in what positive senses do you take after your dad, after your mom, after grandpa, grandma? In what senses, positive senses, you take after your dad or your mom? For example, I am very ambitious, and in that sense, I take after my mom, right? How about you, Mitch or Mickey? In what positive sense you take after your dad or your mom?
Mm, oh, ho, ho.
Well, you were saying, Mickey, that you are very organized.
Yeah, well, I try sometimes.
Well, I try to be very organized.
Yeah, I try to be organized.
You said
And I take after my dad.
take after that, right? How about you, Mitch?
I think I didn't understand the expression I take after.
That means that you are similar.
Oh,
For example,
right.
the first one, I am very ambitious, and in that sense, I take after my mom.
It's like lo heredé de.
Yeah, more or less, yes. I take after, yes. Lo tomé de mi madre. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Could
that's what it means, more or
be
less.
I I'm a animal lover.
I'm a what?
I'm an
An
animal
animal.
lover.
Normally, you say a pet lover.
Pet lover. Okay.
Lover, and
And I take
there.
after my mom
Your mom loves animals too, loves pets.
very much.
How nice. Okay, very good. Well, that is, I bet many, well, bet is that I'm sure. It's like te apuesto a que, right? It's like literally, I bet. So what do you bet, Mickey? What do you bet on? I bet, for example, I bet something that you are sure about.
Something that you what?
You are sure about, you are certain about. Te apuesto a que, right? I
Mm,
bet.
um, I bet that uh, tomorrow is gonna rain.
It's going to rain. Okay, excellent. Very good. What you, Mitch? You have an example with I bet?
Um, I bet that. Hmm, I bet that uh, on Thursday I'm going to get an A.
I'm going to what?
I'm going to get a good note.
In the school,
Yes.
we can also say great. No, this okay too.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a. I bet that on Thursday or next Thursday, I'm going to get a good grade or a good note. Very good, excellent. But what's the point? Is what's the purpose, right? Can you read examples, Mitch or Mickey? What's the point of?
Yes. What's the point? What's the use? Purpose? What for? Examples. What's the point in of coming to England if you don't want to meet English people? You may as well stay in your own country. Shall we employ another accounts clerk? What's the point? We've already got quite a few.
Okay. And normally after in or after on, which are prepositions, in or off, the verb goes in gerund, as you can see, right? What's the point
Mhm.
of, right? For example, what's the point of learning German if I don't ever go to Germany? That's what I ask myself, right?
Mhm.
What's the point of learning German if I don't ever go to Germany? So, what's the point of something if something doesn't happen, Mitch or Mickey?
Yes.
Let's give an
Mm,
So
example.
I could put an example that happened me. in
Happened to me.
the happened to me in the third semester, and I always said, "What's the point of learning print with wood if here exist actual printers?"
Really? Well, you know what? You can print in laser printers. Is that not true?
Laser printers.
Yeah, I mean, laser printers, laser cutting machines, and they cut, and they also stamp things with laser in wood, in plastic, in ceramic, in metal. Yeah, there are printers that can now print laser print. No, I don't know if the word is laser. No, laser cutting machines can cut pieces of wood, plastic, ceramic, and metal. Those are laser cutting machines. I'm sure that you have seen them, Mitch. Have
Yeah,
you?
and machines.
But what you say is that what's the point of learning how to print with wood or in wood?
With wood.
If there are actual printers. Okay, well, that makes a point. That's what you were asking yourself in third semester, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Mitch, thanks. What about you, Mickey?
Mm, what's the point of working so hard if you don't have time for for yourself?
For yourself.
That's a good comment. That's a good question, of
Yes.
course. Yeah. What's the point of making so much money if you won't be able to enjoy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
we need to keep a balance. Those are good points. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mickey. Let's go to the next phrase, which is also interesting. Let me show it to you a second. To trade. To trade is not very used in English, in American English, but it's more common in England, but it makes sense. Trodden. Who can read it, please? To step on something.
to thread, to step on something. Examples. When I was in the army, I had to be careful not to tread on unexploded bombs in case they went off. You just rolling on my clean floor with your dirty shoes. I'll get you back for this. Uh, what we can interpret to tread in Spanish?
Pisar.
Pisar.
Pisar. To tread on something is the same as to step on something.
Oh,
And here is on, unless it is a liquid, in which case is treading in, right? Like in puddles, charcos here. I don't know if you want to read the first example, Mitch, please, or Mickey. Children enjoy.
Yes, sure. Uh, some children enjoy trading bottles after it has raining.
Okay. And there is also a figurative way, treading on someone, treading on people. That's stepping on people, right? So let's read the next example, Mitch, please. Just because she's well off.
just because she's well off, she thinks she can thread on everyone. This meaning to thread is the only used to describe a person's general attitude on or character towards others, and not for an action against one person. For example, one would not say she trod on me yesterday.
Yeah, it's not a specific time, but it's a general attitude. So
Mhm.
treading on people, right? So let's say abusive bosses take pleasure on treading on their uh, employees. So this is a figurative way, but this is a general attitude, not that he trod on someone yesterday. That's not the way to do it. This is a general attitude. Um, uh, Treading in puddles. Trading in puddles is a lot of joy for children. What did we say was puddles? Remember puddle?
Mm, I don't remember.
Charcos.
Oh,
Trading in puddles is a lot of joy for children. So we use it in figurative way. People tread on people, or treading on something, step on something. For example, have you ever trodden on a floor recently cleaned? I don't know if have you ever done that. Moms normally get very upset, or people who clean the floors, not
Yeah,
necessarily. Have you, Mickey?
yeah, so many times.
Yeah. What is the reaction of the people?
Mm, normally they're not very happy.
Not very happy, right?
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever trodden on a floor recently cleaned? Well, that's tread, trod, trodden, and overdrawn. Let's go over with overdrawn, please. Overdraft and overdrawn. Overdraft, overdrew, and overdrawn. You are overdrawn. Who can read it, please?
examples?
Yes, please.
Instead of relying on your overdraft facility, you'd be better off taking out a loan. A loan.
Préstamo. Yes, a préstamo.
Yeah. I bet she won't be able to clear her overdraft by the end of the year. Letter from the bank. Dear Mr. Smith, I has to come to our attention that your account is overdrawn in the sum of 200 euros.
100 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah, pounds. In England, is they use pounds. They retire from the European Union. What do you think of that measure, Mickey? Do you agree that England withdrew from the European Union, or you think it was a good decision?
Um, to be honest, I'm not informed about it. I know that they drowned of the European Union. I think that they will have their own reasons, but um, I don't think that it's something really necessary. But well,
The equivalent would be that Mexico withdraws. I'm gonna write the word withdraw, retirarse, right? I'm
mhm.
gonna withdraw, or in past tense, I withdrew, right? Or Mexico has recently withdrawn, which is not true, from the free trade agreement, North American free trade agreement. What would you think if we withdrew from the North American free trade agreement, Mickey or Mitch? What would your feelings be?
That would be something very complex because we have a lot of exports and imports coming from those countries, and obviously it's an advantage if we don't pay taxes of it. So if we uh, withdraw of the treatment, I think that will be a grand decision.
Okay. Thank you, Mickey. What do you think, Mitch? Would it be a good idea to withdraw from the North American Free Trade Agreement, from NAFTA, or it wouldn't be a good idea?
could you repeat me the meaning of withdraw?
Withdraw, retirarse
Oh,
from the Free Trade Agreement, North American Free Trade Agreement. We have an agreement with Canada and the
uh-huh.
US.
Yes, yes, yes. Mm,
So what do you think?
I actually not very informed about it. I just know that they give us some benefictions for that treatment, but I don't really know what could be the consequences if we withdraw on on that.
if we withdrew from NAFTA? Well, Mickey said that we would pay higher taxes, and I fully agree with him.
Ooh.
Uh, but what about getting raw materials or equipment or something from China? And instead of buying Chinese products from the US, what if we import products from China and we sold them to the US? In other words, let's change the scheme. Let me get a map. Or if you can get a map, Mexico, China, US, Mickey, please. Whoever has it first can send it to the other ones.
Mhm.
US, China, Mexico map.
Yeah,
Bless you,
Bless
bless you.
you.
thank you.
Here, okay. I'll try to make this idea. Let's say it is maybe a crazy idea, but why not? It could work.
Well, I think that something that Mexico could do is that not only be dependent of the United States, because I think that if we try to go to another markets, will be great for the economy. For example, as you said, China. China is a place where I'm almost sure that the majority of Americans or United States import a lot of things to China. So that will be a reason why they try to, in a way, how can I say, mm, it's not like difamar, but not talking a good way about China, and at the end they have the majority of imports from that country.
Um, well, if it is not defamate, give bad name, give a bad name.
Yeah.
Well, now what is happening, and you are in business, Mickey, you're in international business. I think this is correct. This is what is happening now, and I don't know because it's not my cup of tea, as they say, right? It's not my cup of tea. It's not my field of experience, but I think this is more or less what is happening. Of course, if I am wrong, please correct me. And then from China to Mexico, lots of things. I believe this is what is happening. And obviously, well, the Americans are very smart, and we are not so much in this moment yet, but I think we are becoming more and more intelligent, little by little, I think. So, this is what is happening in this moment, in my opinion. So, China sends lots of stuff to the US, and the US sends lots of stuff to Mexico with a markup, of course,
Oh,
what I think. But if instead of doing this, we reversed the situation, we did just exactly the same, but in our benefit. So we import lots of things from China to Mexico, right? And instead of importing Chinese products from the US, we export Chinese products from Mexico to the US. Could we do that? That's crazy. That's possible. What's your idea on this concept, Mickey or Mitch?
Mhm. That would be great, but to be honest, I think that it's something that at least is not possible because you know that there are a lot of borders that makes that is not possible. We know that if we do that, there will be a disaster with the relationship with United States, and in part Mexico depends of United States. So I don't know. That will be great, but I don't know if it's possible at this moment.
Is Let's call it interdependence because we export lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, lots of
Yeah.
goods, which account for our 80, excuse me, 80% of our exports. Just an idea. I'm not saying that this is a great idea. It's just an idea,
Yeah.
right? Well, that came from the withdraw, withdraw, and overdrawn. That was the original word. Have you ever overdrawn your account makes sure, Mickey, that you say, "Oh, I took out too much from my bank account." Or have you had a friend or acquaintance that has overdrawn his bank account and you say, "Oh, my friend had an issue. He overdrew his bank account by too much." Do you think that happened?
Eh, for example, that don't have money, the bank account.
Yeah, yes, overdrawn.
Well, actually,
Wow, that
happened
has
to
happened
me.
to me.
Happened to me
To me too.
when
Yes.
Yeah.
my dad gave me my first debit card. Was at 15, and I was pretty immature. Then I broke things, and I have to pay it by myself. I lost things from other people. I have to pay it from them. Uh,
Ouch.
I spent with a lot of things that I didn't need to, and I didn't know. I wasn't informed that Banamex you have to have or something like that. I understood. If you don't have more than 3,000 pesos, they're going to quit you money each month. And when I finally sell something by myself, okay, I put it there, and a month later, they took me everything. Uh, and I wasn't informed of that, and
Okay.
was like 20,000
Oh, really? 20,000?
at the beginning. Um, and but now this that debit card doesn't exist anymore. And I learned
The hard
uh,
way.
in the hard way. Yes.
Well, I tell you something for your consolation. That has happened to all of us, at least to me. I don't know, Mickey, but we learn. We always learn. We normally learn. We usually learn the hard way. How about you, Mickey? Thank you, Mitch.
Mm, well, I remember one time that I was leaving my money in Mercado Pago because Mercado Pago gives you access to GBM to invest your money
Okay.
and and well, I left there my money, and then I realized that well, I have forgotten that I had that money, and when I checked, I realized that my bank account in Mercado Pago was empty. So
Ah,
yeah, and and I realized of that because I see my my purchases with that card, suppose, and it were purchases of 5,000, 8,000. So
ah,
someone hacked my account. Yeah, and and it was hard, but after 3 months, I could take back my money. But for that time was stressful.
jeez. I imagine. Well, there is something very positive from this, even if it's a painful experience, that you are so young that you learn an important lesson very early on in life.
Yeah, yeah, of
So
course.
that's the positive thing. Very positive, actually. Well, we all normally learn the hard way, but when you have the lesson mastered or the lesson learned, then you take much smarter decisions, right? So that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take a look at the next one, which is look forward. Is that you expect something to happen in the future, right? And then this is a very business-like expression. Who can read it, please?
Me.
Okay, Mitch, please.
To look forward to wait with pleasure. Examples. I was really looking forward to seeing Alice. I hadn't heard from her in ages. We are going to start doing up our new house next week. Are you looking forward to it? I'm not looking forward to receiving my bank statement. I must be overdrawn by at least 500 pounds.
Pounds, exactly,
Pounds.
exactly right.
Where
So
pounds?
pounds, sterling pounds, the
Libras.
libras, yes,
Oh,
libras,
oh.
libras esterlinas actually, sterling pounds. And you have the sterling pounds here, sterling pounds, which is the currency that the British normally use or have used for in a while. Sterling pounds. Okay, what is it that you look forward to? That is something that you expect with pleasure, with anxiety, with excitement, with emotion. What is it that you expect with more emotion? For example, I look forward to visiting my brother on at the end of July. I'm very happy about a potential visit that I have with my youngest brother end of July. Maybe yes, maybe not, but I look forward to that. How about you, Mickey or Mitch?
Mm,
Mm,
I look forward to finishing my university at the end of June.
You're gonna finish school, Mickey?
Yeah,
College?
yeah.
Is that true? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
End of June. This I think it went fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it was so fast.
Yeah. But you're what, 22?
Yeah, well, the last week was my
You just
birthday. So
turned
yeah,
22 and you're gonna finish school at 22. Wow, that's impressive. Very
yeah.
nice. Good job. Good thing. Good deed.
Thank you, sure.
How about you, Mitch? Thank you, Mickey. What about you? What do you
mm,
look forward to?
for example, I look forward to be 20, June 23, 23rd. No sé, I don't know. No, to be
You
June 23rd because we are going to Ixtapa.
really?
Yes.
So you're gonna turn 20 on June 23rd?
No, I look forward mm, to be the day que sea
Oh,
el día.
I look forward to um, having. How can you say this? To being, yes, okay. To being
To be
on June 20.
on
And what
because because we are going to Ixtapa.
oh, you're going on vacation, right? That's very nice. Well, that's truly nice. It's have a look at day off. Well, you know what a day off is? Show off. What is show off?
Like presumir.
Yeah, it is exactly that. So let's read the definition, please, at first, and then we get some examples.
To show off, to show that one is very proud of one's abilities, achievements, or positions to boast.
Right, exactly. And let's see the examples, please. I don't want to show off.
I don't want to show off, but I must tell you that I came first in all my exams when I was at university.
All right.
One tennis player to another. Just because I'm having an off day today, it doesn't mean you have to show off in front of everyone watching.
Okay. And the
And
last one.
it's surprising his friends haven't gone off him after the way he keeps showing off his new car.
Okay. Sometimes I would say that it's legal to show off. When would you think that it's legal to show off? Or is it valid? I mean, why shouldn't it be valid to be proud of something that you have achieved with a lot of effort? So, a question: when is it? And I think we asked this question already a while ago, but let's
Mhm.
repeat it. When is it valid to show off? What do you think is valid? It's okay to show off a little bit, maybe.
Uh, I would say that it's valid uh, to show off when it's an achievement that you do. For example, I don't know, you get a new, you, for example, me, you finished college, or you're getting a promotion in your job. But I think that those things are part of that. People can notice, and it is not necessary to tell to everyone that you get those things.
It is not necessary to inform people about this. All right. Good comment. Good comment. How about you, Mitch? What do you think? When is it valid to show off a little bit,
Show off what was?
presumir a
Oh,
little bit?
yeah, sorry. Uh, mm, Maybe it is valid when did you put an effort of at something that you achieve and you are, how can I say, humilde,
Humble?
a
Humble.
humble person. You don't want to make feel bad other people. Uh, Maybe you want to inspire them to put effort too in their stuff or in their things that they want to achieve too.
Okay. Very interesting comment. I find this comment very, very interesting. I would like to add something. Uh, when you don't offend someone else, so if you tell your parents that you got good grades, they will feel incredibly happy and you are not offending anyone. You just say, hey, I'm going to get a straight A or a straight 10 or a straight 9, or I'm going to get a good grade. You can say, hey, dad, or hey, mom, I achieved this. So when you don't offend others, I think it's valid to show off a little bit, right? To tell your dad, to tell your mom, to tell your girlfriend, to tell your boyfriend, to tell your classmates, to tell someone that you managed to achieve something important. I think people will feel um, proud, proud of you. But well, this is a subjective question. Posh. Okay, posh is a funny word. Posh, P-O-S-H. What do you think posh means? The word sounds funny, right? Posh. What do you think is the meaning of posh?
Bosch.
Posh.
Mm, I don't remember. I think that it's something like luxury or something like that.
Luxurious, more or less, yes, sophisticated, and normally they use it for accents.
Okay.
Well, not really only for accents, they use it for other things. Let's see the examples, please.
I think that it's Mitch's turn.
Mitch, you want to read it, please?
Yep. Posh. Upper class, sophisticated, colloquial. Examples. There is no point in speaking with a posh accent. They can tell where you really come from. You can undo your jacket. This restaurant isn't that posh.
Yes. If we use colloquial words in Spanish, would be like fresa, right?
Fresa.
Yeah,
Creído.
more or less, or sophisticated, or upper class.
Okay. Yeah, because
Okay.
there it is people fresa, and they are not in really good terms about money.
Well, so let's see. What is too posh for you guys? What is too posh in your mind? In your mind, in your opinion? You say, "Hey,
Mm,
that attitude is too posh."
Maybe consider everything or anyone um, not so sophisticated like you.
Is too posh. This is too posh. Considering someone not as sophisticated as you is too posh. That's your idea, Mitch?
I consider someone else sophisticated to push. Yeah.
You know what I think is too posh? You correct me if you think, or if you think different, or if you think otherwise. Wearing sunglasses at night. I would say, that's too posh because there is no sun. Why are you wearing sunglasses?
Oh yeah, that is true.
I think, well, could be. In my opinion, I might be wrong. I don't know, but well, let's see. What else? What do you consider too posh, Mickey?
Mm, well, one time I met a person who doesn't want to have coins. It is a little bit exaggerated, but yeah.
So pretending not to want to use coins is too posh. Okay. Pretending or not wanting to use coins, right? Not wanting to use coins is also too posh, right? Not only pretending, but not wanting to use coins is too posh. Do you agree, Mitch? I just use bills, not
No,
coins.
wanting to use coins is to push. Ah, yes, they usually want to use debit or credit card.
Debit or credit card or bills, right? For
Yeah.
the matter, only bills. Only bills or debit credit card. Yeah, that's a good comment. Very good, Mickey. Thank you. Very good, Mitch. So posh. Now let's go over turnover, please. What is this? You want to read it, Mickey, please?
Yes, sure. Turnover, the total amount of money income that a business receives during a certain period of time. Examples: a turnover of £1,000,000 should help to clear overdraft. Have you heard them showing off about how much their turnover has increased this year?
Okay. Now the turnover is the profit. No, it's not the profit. The turnover. The profit is the turnover minus its expenses. So you subtract the expenses. So it's only the income, the money that you receive, right? But the money that you receive does not include the expenses. You still have to subtract them. So the turnover is not the profit. Profit is the ganancia, and turnover is the income, el ingreso, which is different. I don't know if that is clear, Mitch. For example, it's clear or more or less?
Yes.
It's clear. Okay, very good. So let's go over the next one. To cope with, you know this we have studied this expression before. Cope with. Can you read the definition, please? I think it's Mitch's turn.
No, it's Mickey's turn.
It's Mickey's turn. I'm sorry. Mickey, please.
To cope with, to be able to tolerate, manage, bear a situation or person. Examples: sometimes I think that I'd be better off without job. I can't cope with this one any longer. I'm really looking forward to my parents going away. I can hardly cope with them at the moment.
Yes, cope, right? So people can cope. So, for instance, is it possible that the federal police can cope with crime in Mexico? Well, this is a interesting question. I don't know what you think. Who can read it, and then we discuss it, both Mitch and Mickey, please. Who wants to read it first?
It is possible that the federal police can cope with crime in Mexico.
What do you think, Mitch?
It is possible that the federal police can cope. What means cope?
Lidiar con.
Ah.
Lidiar.
Well, maybe if they were more ethical or organized, they could cope. But the reality, in my perspective, it is that some police people help some narcos or criminals, and there is, don't know, there is leech in some way. I think they can, but maybe they really want to. Some of them, I'm not talking in general, but yes. What else?
But it should be possible, right? You think it could be possible,
Possible
at
things.
least in the future? It could. Possible, provided that, or given that, or with the condition that.
Sure.
What condition? What should it be provided? Provided that, con el supuesto de que, provided that.
Possible provided that. Uh, maintain the safety and care about the citizens.
Okay, this is a very important comment. Can you read the complete sentence, Mitch, please?
At the time being, some policemen are colluded, but it could be possible provided that they maintain the safety and care of their citizens.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. What do you think about this question, Mickey, please? Is it possible that federal police can cope with crime in Mexico?
At the moment, I don't think that it is possible, because it's not only about police, it's about a lot of more things, inclusive the government, the corruption, the different secretaries, and I think that is not only the fault of police.
Okay. Very interesting comment. Very interesting. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mickey. Well, what can we cope with, right? What can we cope? Let me ask you a question, Mickey, that I asked you a while ago, and I think the answer was yes. Can you cope with school and business? How do you manage your time to be able to cope? Let me ask you this question. How do you manage your time to be able to cope with school and business? Yeah, that is a better question. How do you manage your time to be able to cope with school and business? That's a good question. What do you do?
Well, I think that it has been a little bit complicated, more at the beginning, but with the time, with the experience, you start to know how to manage yourself for better. And in my case, I always try to do all the school things the sooner possible, because, for example, today I have 2 hours, 3 hours in the school. Today I start classes at 9:30. I woken up at 7, and I went to the gym to 7 to 8:15. I take a bath and I take my lunch, and then I go to the school. And sometimes when I'm not doing something specific in the school, I try to do my homeworks. And then in the rest of the day, I try to, I don't know, deliver my packages, or posting products, or yeah, doing the rest of the things that I'm doing.
Very nice. Now, you have seen obviously family, friends, people, movies, right? This is a general question. How do parents cope with work and the education of their children? This is a general question. It's a universal question, actually. Some parents are extremely good at managing or balancing out work and the education of their children, raising, and let me put raising their children. That means bringing them up, educating, supporting, etc. How do they do this? Let's see if you know. You can answer this question, Mitch or Mickey. Parents, how do parents cope?
Yeah. Well, I think that is something difficult, and obviously, I'm not talking about my own experience, but I can see with my parents, and for example, with my dad, he spent the majority of his days working, and sometimes he came to the house around 10 or 10:15, and it is difficult to keep this balance to work and raising their children. Or yeah, so I think it's the same. You need to manage your time and try to keep uh, free time for you and for your family and for the rest of the things.
Right. Very good answer, Mickey. Thank you very much. How about you, Mitch? What have you seen in your friends? What have you seen in other people? Maybe in movies? How do parents cope with work and raising their kids?
Well, I think they had to be very
Organized.
organized. Well, there are some parents that don't do that very well because they don't put uh, the basic attention to their child for being too much at work. That's not a well. There are others that they're too much at work, but at least they ask, and how do you been in the school, or what do you need, or things like that. But others not even do that. Well, it's very organized.
Organized.
Organized. Yeah, I think that's the essential thing.
Okay, very good. Coping. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to cope with various things is at times not easy. I mean, all right, then to come over, go over. Come over is to visit. Would you like to come over tomorrow? Would you like to come over? To go over, right? It's visiting. That's very common. Come round is when you faint and then you come back again. You wake up again, right? Come round, right? So, for example, have you seen people faint and come round in a few minutes? Or they normally take longer to come round? So have you seen people faint and come round quite soon? Or it normally takes a few minutes? What have you seen, Mickey or Mitch? Faint is
Some
desmayarse.
people faint and come around quite soon.
Or it normally takes them a longer time.
Never, teacher.
Never.
Mm-mm.
It normally takes them what, good 20, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, I think so, but I think so, but I haven't ever seen a person faint.
Oh, never, really?
No, never.
Okay. Eh, well, normally people go to take their vaccines, to get an anesthetic. People who feel drowsy or dizzy. When there are many reasons for people to faint, and not always come round soon. How do doctors make people come round? How do doctors or nurses make people come round? How does this happen?
That's
Mm,
With some type of product, with alcohol, maybe.
yeah, with alcohol.
Maybe with alcohol, right?
Sometimes I've seen that they take the legs of the person, right, and they try to move near of the heart, or try to, I don't know what is the purpose of that, but yeah, I've seen videos, but I've never seen in person.
Okay, right, very good. They pull the legs. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they make them inhale alcohol or other similar products. Have you seen that, Mitch?
they pull the legs and make neonatal or similar foods. I don't. I didn't understand too much the expression "come around." It's why it's like,
Despertar, volver conscientes, become conscious
oh,
again.
okay, okay. Well, I see those in movies.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And what have they done, or what do they do, or what did they do?
mm, yes, or with these things to mm, do electroshocks in the
Oh,
chest.
wow, that's a drastic measure. Could well
Yes.
be possible. All right. So with actually, no, wait, you're right. Electroshocks. I'm sorry,
Yes.
you're right.
With the things that you do with the two tables, or I don't know what are those little devices in your hands. You
Well, that's one
the
way to do it.
frotas. Uh,
Yeah, well, listen, there is a way to do it. When a person has a heart attack, they use this. What's the name of this device? Defibrillator. The defibrillator. That is exactly the equipment they use, Mitch, to administer electroshocks in the heart of a person and wake him up when he suffers a heart attack, when he or she suffers a heart attack. It's called a defibrillator. It instills a shock, an electric shock of several volts and amperes, and that wakes people up when they normally when they have a heart attack, not when they faint, because when they faint, they are still breathing. But when they suffer a heart attack, they normally quit breathing, and so you need to act quickly, and you administer these electroshocks. But yeah, that is true. What you just said is true. With electroshocks using a defibrillator. Okay, so people come round. Yeah, obviously, that's a drastic measure, but yeah, of course. Well, let's do the last one, which is reluctant, renuente. Have you heard the word renuente in Spanish?
Mm, yeah, probably yes, but I don't know what does it mean.
I am reluctant. I don't want to. I am renuente. I don't want to. I am resistente. I am reluctant to swim in cold water. I don't want to swim in cold water. I am reluctant. I
Like
resist.
indispuesto could be, or
Indispuesto, okay. Indispuesto to swim in cold water. What are you normally reluctant to, Mickey?
I'm reluctant to eat dairy products because I can't cope with dairy products.
Is that true, or this is just an
Yeah,
example?
no, it is true. That is something bad because sometimes I want to eat ice cream, or I want to eat um, some quesadillas and all stuff, and and I need to reserve those products for an special day, because then I feel how do you say, um, inflamado, or I'm not
Swollen.
confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. How about you, Mitch? Thank you, Mickey. What are you
Yes.
reluctant to?
E. Eh, reluctant. Reacio. What's reacio?
That you
Uh,
oppose resistance.
oh, okay. I am reluctant to. Could be. Paint with actual paint. With
Is that true?
yes, I like painting, but digitally. But the material, I don't. I'm not very tolerance.
Wow, that's incredible. But okay, we believe it. All right, thank you very much. Well, Mickey Mitch, we have come to the end of our session of today. We practiced some phrasal verbs that I'm sure are going to be very useful for you guys. And I would say that our next session can be on Friday. How about that? Can
Sure.
it be Friday afternoon?
Yes, sure. Because you can't tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow is a full day for me from 7 to 9,
Yeah, it
from
is okay
4
on
to.
Friday, because, well, on Friday we finished exams too, so we're free.
All right, so let's say 4:30 would be okay. 4ish, 4:4ish, 4:15, 4:20, 4:30.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much then, Mickey Mitch. Enjoy your day and see you on Friday. Take care.
Thank you,
You
teacher.
too,
Have a
teacher.
great
Take care.
day.
You too. Enjoy and have
Thank
a